Hello guys, welcome back. Today I have a shorter video, but I will eventually bring out some more useful topics in the future. But today I want to show you some resources that you can check out to get better at Guideline Tetris. We're going to be going over 5 websites for research and 3 more for interactive practice. So our first website is Tetris Concept. It's just an overview of Tetris fundamentals, stuff like upstacking and downstacking, all that stuff. It's mostly for beginners, but obviously anyone can check this out, learn something new from it. So if you go into upstacking, there's a bunch of stuff that's being brought up, such as, of course, good and bad surfaces, smoothing things out, jagged corner. These are all common problems that beginners face, and it's just very useful if you're trying to get into the game of Tetris. It's just in general really good, because you get a bunch of examples and you can try them out on your own when you start playing. And not only does it go over upstacking, it also goes over downstacking, which is also super important. And it's mostly just about the stacking in general, because that goes for a lot of Tetris. You can't do many of the mechanics without having a good understanding of how to stack. For our second website, we have the Underdogs Cup Coaching Request Form, and this form is mostly just for asking for a coach so that they'll come in time. But after you finish this application, then it's going to give you a bunch of useful resources, such as, just in general stacking, downstacking, APM. This is much like Tetris Concept, but, a little bit shortened. This is just in general stuff that you can easily just pick up and start implementing into your gameplay. So if you ever need help, you can always ask for a coach, but you can also check out this response right here. So this will show up whenever you, finish an application, so yeah, I would recommend you seek coaching if you ever need help. So for our next website, we have four.lol, and this is an opener database where basically, if you ever want to learn an opener, you can go onto this website and you can learn all about it. These are mostly for practical openers and setups. Like if you go here, you can learn about TKI, which is probably one of the most common setups in Tetris in general, actually. And it goes over the small amount of variations and bags that you can go through, and also small details like, certain bags being able to be used. There's other stuff like PCs, donations, TSTs, all types of variants, but you can also, go back. You can also learn about DT Cannon, PCO, Haji Spin, MKO, C-Spin, BT, all that stuff. Not only do they have openers, you can also learn about, just in general, T-Spin triples and their setups. You can learn about Parapet, STMB Cave, all these other setups that you might need to memorize, you can also learn on four.lol. They have a huge amount of text that you can read over, so if you go over this, you can easily master these openers and setups. They have other stuff down here like, donations, skimming, all that stuff. And even 4-wide, who knew? And also, if you're into PCO, then they also have certain PCO patterns and stuff about that. So yeah, if you're trying to learn PC looping, then this would also be a good idea to figure out about. Also DPC. And there's other concepts that are also explained. So yeah, it's just a really good in general website. And you can also toggle mirror, which flips the board. Really cool. But yeah. For our next website, we have Tenchi's Tetrio Stats website, and this has a lot of useful information if you play Tetrio. So from here, we're on players. We can search up my name, and it's going to bring up my stats, value, and rank, stuff like that. Let's look for someone that's actually ranked, like music. You get all these details about the percentile, their rank, and their values for APM, PPS, all that stuff. And also on the left, it shows a timeline of your PPS, APM, TR, and verses going up or down over time. And as you can see, music goes all over the place. You can also change the radar scale, or change smooth to raw, make it go all up, more accurate. And then we have other stuff like League. It shows stuff like APM, APP, versus, and it compares every single player with their individual dots. That's really cool. And then we have Ranks. It shows all the threshold requirements. So, for example, you need 24,522 TR to get to X rank. So if you ever need to get to a new rank, then you can check this ranks place right here and then try to reach that TR. And of course, it also tell you what the percentage of the player base is. We have miscellaneous, is just highest and lowest. It's not really that interesting. If you like skins, you can also go here. If you have Tetrio Plus, you can download these skins and then put them into your game. Really cool. And you have Studio, it's just a map editor. It doesn't really do much. It's just there to look cool. You can draw whatever you want on it. And then you have the FAQ. It's just a bunch of Tetrio questions, such as Tetrio Plus, the formula for verses, and stuff like changing DAS and ARR. And yeah, that's just in general. And for our last website, we have the Hard Drop Wiki. And this is probably the biggest database of all the other websites we've seen. It has all the multiplayer games, downloadable clients, all that stuff. Even like every single opener that ever existed and is relevant enough to be put in, it's in the Hard Drop Wiki. I even have Sexman in there. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, even my opener's in there. Yeah, there's also features, content, pretty much everything that is Tetris related. It's gonna be in here. Everything's looks kind of outdated, so this is probably not the best place to always look for other openers or setups. But in general, if you want to look for something that's a bit obscure, then look here. So we're going to move on to some more interactive tools, and this one is called Tetresse. And I've already set my keybinds, and my ARR is 0. I would recommend you set yours to 0 too, and we're going to start a new game. So everything looks normal, but what this application forces us to do is make optimal piece placements by using finesse. So finesse is basically just like what I said. We're going to use the least amount of key inputs to place a piece down. So right here, if I want to place this S piece right here, I'm not going to just move it left and right. So what it wants me to do is move my piece all the way to the right, and then rotate counterclockwise. And that would be the optimal piece placement, because I'm using the least amount of key inputs possible. And this is only done for 0 ARR, it doesn't count for anything less, because then skill stopping may be allowed, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, if you want to learn about finesse, or you just want to train yourself to get out of the habit of making unoptimal piece placements, then this is definitely the kind of workout you might need to get your brain conditioned to stop making finesse faults. So next up we have Misamino, and this is a strange bot to say the least. So if we start playing a game with it, it'll place a piece whenever I place a piece. And this will just keep going over and over. So this is this encourages you to play more efficient than usual. So as you can see, I'm already struggling because I am not very efficient myself. And you'll constantly have to be downstacking, finding solutions to get out of situations like these. And yeah, there will be a lot of downstacking. You can play against any AI that you want, but right now I'm playing against level 5. So you can play one that suits to your level, but most of them kind of act the same. So yeah, great way to get better at efficiency. You can play at your own pace. I mean, you don't have to go super fast like I am right now. And yeah, the goal is just to survive as long as possible, or top out the bot if you are really that good. And for our last resource, we have Fortress, and this is probably the most useful out of all of them. And what this basically does is allow for a lot of experimentation and labbing, so yeah, you can edit basically almost whatever you want in Fortress. So if we start from the beginning, we can add in garbage holes, or lines. We can change up our queue to whatever we want. We can add to single Minos, which is really cool. We can change our hold. We can set it to infinite. We can auto color lines. Just have them float up on top. We can mirror. So we have different modes. We have training mode, cheese mode, which we can do down stack. So not just cheese, just also down stack. We also have just combo mode, where you just try to get a really long combo. Then we also have PC mode, where you just, try to get PCs. I probably won't. And then we have Master mode, which is just really high gravity. So yeah, we have a bunch of modes and a lot of different ways to practice. And we also have this screenshot mode, which you can screenshot boards and then it'll show up on here. That's also really cool. So if you ever want to experiment with T-spin setups or other stuff like that, you can use Fortress. And yeah, just in general, Fortress is probably the best resource for Tetris in general, because you can do so much with it in just one application. So if you have any more questions about any of these resources, or if there's one you specifically want to try out but you don't know how to use it, you can comment it down below. And other than that, thanks for watching.